Okay, Mercury Retrograde starts today, and we are between eclipses, so definitely gonna look into that. Can be challenging, but also it's usually like a time of a lot of growth and learning. So, also if you're new here watching this video, please hit subscribe and also hit the bell so you get notified about readings. And I'll just get right into this. Well, also, retrogrades are a period of learning and reviewing. So old situations can come up, people can come back. Um, we go over our thoughts, we're organizing, and the stones that I picked for each of the piles today really correspond with like it's a lot of blue and green, and that's heart center and throat center. So it's like, to me, I feel like and we're in Cancer season, so it's like communicating from the heart, possibly. I haven't looked at these readings yet, so I don't know for sure what's coming out, but it seems like there's going to be something about communicating from the heart. So, anyway, first pile, we have the fluorite here, the fluorite octahedron. Even though you can't tell, this is one of the it's a light green color, which is the heart center color, even though fluorite can also have to do with um, your mind. So, mind and heart, and then grounding and reality. Pile one, if any of that does anything for you, pick that pile. Pile number two, we have the aqua quartz. It's a really spiritual stone. This is the light blue one. This is like a throat center one, so if you're feeling that kind of communication thing is doing anything for you, that's pile two. And then pile number three, we have the labradorite, one of my favorite stones. It is it's a stone, it's a really spiritual stone that helps with like trance states and going into just different states of mind to get information. It's very protective for if you're kind of like outside of your body. So if that feels right to you, that's pile number three. And let's get started. Okay, pile number one, the fluorite. Fluorites are really great stones for if you are someone who either like gets drained from doing spiritual work, which is something I deal with, or you're very anxious. It can help with anxiety. Also, what I use it for. So, let's see what your Mercury retrograde reading is. Okay, so first of all, we have a couple of major cards from the tarot. We have the Hierophant reversed, and that is, it can be about your spirit guides intervening. Um, Reversed, you might, be having trouble listening to them. You might not be listening to guidance. Or the other thing about this is it can have to do with, on the positive side, representing things that are too dogmatic and traditional, and you breaking out of that dogma or tradition. So I'll keep seeing what else is here. Strength. Strength is a really wonderful card, and usually the strength that this card talks about is like not brute strength, but like the strength of compassion, um, the strength of, you know, almost like coming at a situation in a calm way to calm the situation down, almost like if it's like a frightened animal. A lot of times the strength card has an animal, like it's usually a lion being tamed, but not with like brute force, with someone who's just like being compassionate and kind, and um, that kind of strength in the situation that you're in. So, God, it's so interesting. Mercury is going into retrograde, which can mess with communication. Um, and I am right now in a weird state of mind, like where I'm not getting everything right away. It's like as I'm speaking, I'm channeling what's happening. So bear with me. I don't know if this is going to take a while. Okay, so we have a card I get all the time, which is the undressing of a salad, but it's reversed. And this has to do with all of the pieces falling together in the correct order. They have to all come together correctly and in a balanced way. And if this is reversed, there's some imbalance happening. We also have the Mother of Wands, which is the Queen of Wands reversed. That's an Aries card. So yeah, I feel like also I get a lot of reversed cards during retrograde. That's really common. So we have I'm all over the place. But we also have the Peacock, which is a really good card and a really, really highly spiritual card about processing what you're going through, like digesting it. There's something about the peacock I don't know if this is true about actual peacocks, I haven't looked it up, but like the card is about really assimilating and really digesting everything that's happening to you and like taking the good parts that are important and discarding the parts that aren't important, but like really understanding what they are. So seeing the peacock upright I feel is really, really good. And you must be doing that. You must be learning some sort of discernment. You must have gotten to a higher level spiritually, or that's what's going to come into being during this retrograde. Is you like retrogrades, a lot of like the good energy of retrogrades are like cleaning and organizing your space. And so I feel like there's more to it than that. Like for you, your whole spiritual being is being reorganized and recalibrated, which is what retrogrades do a lot of the time. But for you it's like, and this is an air card, Mercury isn't I mean it's not just air, it's like this card is air related, so the mind, like I'm saying, your mind and your spirit are being reconfigured. It's just interesting that the spirit guide card is upside down. I'm going to clarify this to kind of get more information, but like you have the strength to do what you need to do. You have the spiritual discernment. The rest of this, now that I'm looking at it, they might be reversed because that's what the process is going to be. Like you're going to go through this discernment with the peacock to understand that Hierophant spirit guide better and to learn how to put things back into balance that aren't. Like maybe that's what it, like undressing of a salad, that's all this crazy stuff going on, all these different pieces, all these different balls that need to be balanced. That's the chaos right now that you need to balance, is this. You're putting all the pieces of your spirit together in the right place. And I think this just means you're not there yet because that's the work that you're doing. But having the strength and the peacock both upright like this, that's very good. So I think that this is about having the strength to really, really go into yourself, especially into your mind, and assimilate information and discard things that you don't need. I feel like this is a very common spiritual message, so this is usually what our guides want us to do, and Mercury Retrograde is usually about this, so this is pretty straightforward. I mean, I hope it's interesting to you. But I am going to clarify. Oh, excuse me. I am going to clarify it with, let's see. Let's go here first. The crows. What do the crows say about it? Ace of Swords upside down. That's clarity, but it's upside down. Can also have to do with protection, protecting something. Retrogrades aren't times to move forward yet. They are times to go in and go over the past. So it kind of makes sense that you aren't clear yet. And you just have to go through this retrograde cycle to get clear. Ooh, look at this though, the Justice card. Okay, so that's interesting. Because the Justice card, this one doesn't have one, but the Justice card usually has a sword involved. There's usually the Sword of Justice is a part of the Justice card. So I feel like this is your end game, is justice. So if there was any sort of injustice that created chaos, whether it was for you or you involved someone else in some sort of chaotic situation, you are being brought into a place where you can assimilate all of that, understand what went wrong, and bring it back into balance. And that will bring justice. So this is about what you're going over during the retrograde is going to be about justice being served. And I mean, I don't know if it's something that you are righting a wrong that you did. That's totally possible, especially with the Aries card upside down. It can also have to do with, like, this could be someone else, but I don't see really other people here. I mean, it could be. See if you know someone that you're dealing with that this got chaotic with was an Aries type, like a very warrior, very tough, fiery personality, but distorted, like they're not using their actions in a good way. That could be a part of this too. But I think it's also it could just be you. So, yeah, for you, pile number one, this is going to be about justice being served, whether that means you're righting a wrong or you're finding a way to right a wrong for someone else, or someone is going to right something that they've done to wrong you. Um, so yeah, work on organizing, going into yourself, meditating, reading, um, and assimilate whatever information that you find there. So interesting. That was your reading pile one. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. I love the comments. Please let me know what you think. I always read them. All my information is in the description box. You can email me for private readings, which is really fun. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching. Alright, pile number two. Man, during retrogrades, communication can be really weird, so, it's interesting today. Might be moving like molasses, to get these words out to you. I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. Oh wow, okay, so here's a theme. We have death and the Dark Lady. Those are very similar. It's funny, even on the images on these cards are similar in a way. This is transformation, and the nice thing is these are both upright cards. This is, you're not resisting the transformation. So this retrograde cycle is going to be transformative for you in a really, 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 really big way. Also, the Dark Lady, I mean, death too, but they have to do with shadow work. And shadow work is usually going in, like if you're going to be, retrogrades are a good time to reorganize physically, mentally, emotionally. For you, it's going to be looking over negative things about yourself. And I'm not saying that the death card's negative or the Dark Lady's negative, but I'm saying that the idea is that you're going to be really, really looking at yourself and your actions and which things you don't like about things that you have done. Which this isn't to make you guilty, this is just to, like, reconfigure yourself and your being into who you really want to be. Like, have my actions really, really held up with who I think I want to be, and what I feel is right. And I feel like that's what you're really, really, really going to be sifting through, is going to the darkest parts of who you are, and really figuring out where you want to go as a person. The nice thing here too is the Eight of Swords is reversed, so and the swords are mind related, so with Mercury, which represents the mind, you're freeing yourself from a prison of your own mind. And sometimes retrogrades can seem like difficult and challenging in a way that's like obstructing you, but this is not going to be that way for you. Like I said, those cards were not reversed. Like, you are going into your shadow work, and it's going to be really positive, and it's going to free you. Like, whatever difficulties that you're going to sift through have been what's holding you, and you're going to escape by going through this transformation. You have the Elephant card also upright. All your cards are upright, actually. Except for, no, I just held up the Eight of Swords. That was the only one that's reversed, and that one reversed is really great because you're freeing yourself. At least how I'm interpreting it here. The Elephant is about overcoming obstacles. So you're going to overcome your obstacles. This is really great. This is, instead of it being a retrograde where you get a bunch of things in your way that you have to deal with, this is actually the opposite. You've had a lot of obstacles to deal with, and this is going to move for you. Like, it depends on who you are and what your planets are and stuff, but retrogrades can be a release point for many people. Everything's different for everyone depending on what their situation is. So this retrograde's going to be really freeing for you and really help you overcome what you need to overcome that's been in your way up to this point, which is so cool. We also have the Son of Pentacles. That is the Knight of Pentacles. Very slow-moving knight, getting things done. It's just not happening fast, and it's a Virgo card, also ruled by Mercury. So you are gonna make progress. It's just little by little. It's not a ton of progress all at once. It's just little by little, going through things, like I said, sifting through yourself, figuring out what you want, figuring out what you don't want, figuring out where you want to go, and starting to build that physically little by little. Like this could even have to do with, especially Virgo related and Mercury, like you might clear out your space in a really big way, you might organize a bunch of stuff, get rid of a bunch of books and clothes or whatever, but not really fast, like little by little over the retrograde. So yeah, you're gonna go through yourself inside, your stuff on the outside. This is very good. And I'm going to clarify with the crows and the cats, even though I don't really have to. I hope it doesn't ruin it. Um, 10 of Wands. This is actually good. I'm so glad. I never want to have like a good reading and then clarify it and be like, oh, there's some difficult stuff here. This is really good. It's putting down burdens. See this crow carrying all this stuff, all these wands? It's really heavy for a bird, a little bird, but you're putting him down. So it's great. This is very good. So far, the reversed cards have been really positive, which is nice. And again, 7 of Wands reversed. So if you look at it upright, it can be a very difficult card, really having to fight it out, really having to defend yourself. Poor kitty. Like, kitty getting attacked and having to, like, get its back up against the wall, but that is over. So I think that you've gone through a really difficult time, and this is gonna be it, and this is cleaning it up. This is good. I just started to get a really good feeling about this, too. Like, just at the end of the reading, like, the vibration is so nice. It's like, cleaning up, all the loose ends getting tied, like, things are gonna work and move and come through in really amazing ways. Like, it's crazy, like, at the end of this reading, I'm really feeling it. This is so positive. Pile 2, you're freeing yourself. You're freeing yourself. You're overcoming your obstacles. I mean, like, this is so great. This is death and rebirth, shadow work and transformation. Whatever you're going to be going through about yourself, I'm now that I'm feeling this energy, it's really not going to be you looking at like, oh, how horrible I've been or all these terrible things, but you are going to reorganize yourself. You're going to get rid of things that you would consider to be negative that are holding you back. And you're going to free yourself. That's so awesome. Pile 2, this was such a good reading. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. Please leave comments. I love comments and I always read them. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Email me for private readings. And thanks for watching. Okay, we are on to pile number 3 with the labradorite. Very spiritual stones today that I've been using. I wonder if there's spiritual type workers watching me today. I don't know, but okay, let's see. I feel like you might be stressed out. The little mouse, I don't like that some of the animal cards in this deck are, I love this deck. I'm not saying it's not a good deck, but there are some animals that just seem more negative than other ones, which I feel like is kind of weird. Like, I feel like they should both kind of have a positive and negative or something. But I know in this one, I think the little mouse is overconsumed with details, which is easy. It's easy to be in that headspace for some people during Mercury retrograde because the retrograde makes your brains all scrambled. Not everybody, it depends on who you are, especially people that have a retrograde in their chart. They're usually doing better, but yeah, your brain's all squirrely. So you probably need to maybe rest during this retrograde at least a little bit. We have the Hangman reversed. So, in this case, I feel like during the retrograde, you're being asked to look at things from a different perspective, but I feel like you're resisting it. There's a perspective shift that you haven't made. The other card you have reversed is the Ace of Cups, so if you're thinking of starting something new in the creative sense or romantic sense, somehow that's not happening, or it's not the time to do that. It's not the time to move forward with new love or new creative projects, which can be true about retrogrades too. You don't necessarily want to start certain types of activities during the retrograde. Some yes, some no. So, I don't know enough about relationships to know if that's good or bad during retrogrades, because that's like more Venus's domain, but signing new contracts is a thing during retrograde that's not the best, or at least really read the fine print before you do that. when the retrograde ends, it just can switch your brain back to a different place. So that might be what that Ace of Cups is about. Emotionally not necessarily being ready to start certain things, and you're gonna feel differently when the retrograde ends. We have the Page of Wands upright though. So that's about starting something new creatively. So I don't know, there's something here that's not lining up. Your heart's not in it? I feel like maybe that's what it is. You are starting something new, or you're attempting to start something new, but your heart's not really in it. So I don't really think you should do it. I mean, maybe you need the money if it's something related to work, but I don't have any coins out here, pentacles. So I'm going to clarify these things, but then we have Epona's Wild Daughter reversed. You got a lot of reversals in this pile number 3. You're struggling, I think. This retrograde cycle could be a challenge. You might have a hard time. And I think that I'm definitely going to clarify this and get more information. But Epona's Wild Daughter, I believe she's the one that holds us through our grief. I'm going to look this one up really quick because I don't remember what the reversed means. You might be grieving, especially with this Ace of Cups also. There's something sad here. Oh, it's kind of the same. It's just a buried issue, something really sad. And you just have to kind of like take a break and rest and take care of yourself and try to listen to your guidance. It's healing. You need healing. Yeah, you need healing to find answers. There's some way that you're not healing. You're like trying to move forward with something before you're fully healed. And it's stressing you out. You're moving forward before you are ready to move forward. This is like the Hangman reversed. You actually need to hang out for longer first. And go inward more and find a new perspective before you move forward with this. Because again, you're trying to do something that your heart's just not really in it. You're going the wrong direction. Okay, 10 of Pentacles, here's the money. And 7 of Pentacles, here's the money. Interesting. This is so funny because I mentioned that there were no money cards out here, but maybe clarifying. Okay, so I'll just explain these cards while I'm processing this. The 7, these are more positive a little bit than the original cards. So 7 of Pentacles is about cultivating something, investing in something. It's not ready to harvest it yet. You're growing it. 10 of Pentacles is like not just harvesting, but you have so much that you can give to others too. So there is some investment that you're growing that's going to pay off really, 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 really big. And I think maybe what's happening is the reason that your heart's not in it in this situation is that it's something else. Like, because you're waiting for this thing you've invested in to come to fruition, you're starting something new that you're not really that into, but this thing you're investing in is gonna pay off. It's a confusing thing because it's like there's 2 scenarios. There is one that's not that great that you're trying to move forward on, but there's this other thing behind the scenes maybe that you're working on that just hasn't paid off yet. Like maybe you're trying to move forward too early before this is finished. Like it's going to happen. And I don't know if you're broke, like I get it. Like I have to do, like almost everyone has to do extra jobs all the time and shit that they don't really want to do for money. And that could be like, I am not begrudging anyone if that's the situation. If you have to take a shitty job or do a project that you don't really want to do because you're not to the point where you want to be with this investment yet, with this thing you're working on that's going to pay off, then yeah, that makes total sense. And maybe during this retrograde, you're going to be doing more of this, cultivating this to get here. But there's also a situation where you may be trying to move, like this retrograde, you got to go back and review. And I feel like you might be trying to move forward too quickly with this situation before it's time. And that happens, like retrograde, you don't want to move forward yet. You want to take time, and you're going to be in a different place when the retrograde ends. So I feel like just know that this investment that you made is going to pay off. Like, you don't have to, if you have to take a job to make money in the meantime, fucking yes, fine, that makes sense. But just know that if your heart's not in whatever you're doing now, what you are working on in the background is going to pay off. It totally is. So this is a reassurance of that. Like, the retrograde's going to be this. You're going to just keep working on it and possibly be doing jobs you don't necessarily want to do, which I know sucks. But this is coming. Look at all. This is a lot of pentacles. Like, this is a lot of money that's going to come in once you're finished with this other stuff that you're doing. Or, like, I mean, once the cultivation is done and it's time to harvest. It's just, you're just not there yet. So, yeah, if you can help not starting a project that your heart's not in, if you're not dependent on it financially, don't do it. You're getting lost in the details and it's stressing you out. If it's just a job you have to do while you're waiting on this abundance, it's coming. Just know that it's coming. It's on its way. For whatever group's watching this, whether you move forward with this other thing or not, this is coming. And you worked hard, and it'll pay off. So, okay, pile 3, that's your Mercury retrograde reading. Like, share, subscribe. I hope this resonated. Please email me for private readings. Donate to my PayPal. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And thank you so much for watching.